Honey, what are you talking about? I'm going to tell you what I'm talking about. How many of you are putting off going to that grocery store? You cannot make yourself go to that grocery store because you're thinking about how much money you're going to pay for something. And are you thinking, well, I don't even know what I'm going to be able to eat because I don't know what I can afford. I don't like coming back with one bag of groceries and paying $100. How many people are putting off going to the grocery store? So how many people are doing this? That's the question, you all. And if you're putting it off, if you're if you're trying to figure out what it is that you're going to buy that you ain't been buying, what are you buying now? You all really think about it. Hello. What are you buying now when you go to the grocery store? Are you buying the things that you normally would buy? Are you? Or are you having to rearrange your diet, your eating habits, just so you can afford? Are you buying some rice? Are you having to eat red beans and rice? You all really think about it. I'm sitting here thinking, I'm twirling my glasses. There's lots of people. They dread going to the grocery store for the mere fact that the prices are like, they're way, 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 way up there, you all. Way up there. In fact, it puts you in a bad mood. You don't want to be in a bad mood when you go to the grocery because it's going to make it even harder for you to buy what you want to buy. You ain't even going to be able to think straight. You are. You got to keep that vibration up. But when you have to go to the grocery, it's a big one. It is. How many people are putting off doing this? You do not want to go. Maybe you used to go every single week. Some people probably used to be daily shoppers. You go every day and get your meal for the day at the grocery store. That's right. Now, I saw a hamburger the other day. I was totally shocked. I think it was for a big 5-pound thing of hamburger. I think it was like around $26. I thought, oh my gosh. Now, I rarely ever eat hamburger. You know, you can get some chicken, maybe a big old thing of chicken quarters for around, I don't know, 6 something, drumsticks for around 6 something, which is pretty cheap. And the wings, you all, but all this other food, how many people are putting off doing this? You don't want, you hate going to the grocery store, and I don't like that word, but some people, you don't want to walk out with one bag of groceries, a little bitty shopping bag of groceries, and you spent $100 and you ain't got nothing in there. You might have got what you kind of wanted, but if you would have got a whole lot more, you would have come out with around 4 or 5 bags, but you don't know more. You don't. You don't come out with 3 or 4 or 5 more bags anymore. No, you really don't. Everything's expensive. Everything's doubled or tripled. If you can find what it is that you want. That's right. Good afternoon, you all. I'm sitting there thinking about that. Actually, I was talking to somebody, and I remember my mom mentioning that too. She went to the grocery store and she spent around $100, and I think she got one bag. One bag. And if you want to stock up, well, what are your eating habits, you all? Gina, put your glasses on so you can read the comments, and you'll see what our eating habits are. Just a moment now. I like twirling my glasses like that. It's very therapeutic. I had a hard day, you all. I'm having some therapy right here, twirling my glasses around on my hand because I had a hard day. So I think I can twirl my glasses and talk at the same time. I can multitask like that, you all. I can. It's wild. You know, when I went to the grocery store, I'll tell you what I have bought before. I would just stock up on like some canned vegetables and stuff, like buy a case. And even then I was kind of scared to do it because I didn't want to like do too many cans at a time. I think they're watching because, you know, when you went that one time, you was only allowed 4 cans. 4 cans of any particular product was what you were allowed. And you couldn't get more than 4 cans. But then I was sitting there thinking, well, who's sitting there watching? Who's monitoring how many cans that we get? So how many of you are putting off doing this, going to the grocery? Because the mere fact of going to the grocery kind of makes some people sick to their stomach. And if you're on limited income, you can't afford it. You can't afford it. Then your refrigerator gets empty. It does. It's pretty empty. And you don't want to eat no ramen, even though it's really cheap, because that's kind of carby-like, and it's going to make you gain weight, but it's nice. But then eating canned goods out of a can, and the soups now is bioengineered, some of the soup, and you don't want to eat bioengineered food, right? I'm still twirling. My daughter's watering these plants out here, is what she's doing. I'm trying not to get her in the picture, since she's watering all these plants with the rainwater that comes from the gutter that gets caught in the barrels, is what's happening. That's why Gina's twirling her thing, and I'm not flipping it around too much, you all. I'm not. Yeah, what are you eating now? Because you probably can't eat what you wanted to eat before. You probably can't. It's humid out here. The humidity is as high as the temperature. I haven't stocked up on food in a long time. I've kind of neglected it. I thought, well, I have enough. I do. And I used to eat red bean and rice all the time. That was a good staple. You get you a rice cooker. Oopsie, Gina, you're going to watch out. You're going to be tripping over that, you all, if I don't watch out what I'm doing. Kayla, honey, you done? Okay, she's done, you all. Kayla, honey, is done. I'll put my glasses on, but I really do like twirling them like this. Just, here's what I like. Get a can of kidney beans, or 2 cans of kidney beans, and put some seasoning on them. Cook them on a stove. Get you some steamed rice. Put it on a plate, and then you just dip those red beans on top of there. It's really good. Or I guess you could do it with chili beans too. It's nice if you like it with some pepper. You could add a little bacon grease to it if you wanted to. You got to get creative now, so you can. So when you go to the grocery store, you can get you some red beans. I don't know how much they are a can anymore. I don't. They're probably around $1 or something now. I'm going to put my glasses on, you all. I am. Put my glasses on my head, kind of like this, and take my one hat off, because I wanted my hair to get a little, like, it's kind of puffy, but I wanted to do it. You all did. That's fine. We can do it, Gina. Do I even got my glasses on? I can't even feel my glasses on my head. I got it now. Okay, I got it. You ham hock in the beans, you all. You got it. How many people are putting off doing this, and it's going to the grocery because you dread going in there. You only have maybe $20 or $30, and you can't get the food that you wanted to get. And if you go out to eat, you can kiss going to the grocery goodbye. Kiss it going to buy. You're going to be choosing between one fast food meal, which could cost you around 20 some odd dollars. There's your whole meal for the whole week, where you could have went to the store and got maybe some canned goods or something like that. You could get a bag of rice, I guess, maybe $8 or $9. You love the beans. Hello there, Linda, honey. You all. It is sad when you do have to choose. Do I want to eat? Do I want to buy my medicine? Do I want to put gas in my car? It's wild. It's wild. It's not right. But if you remember the food chain reaction game from years ago, I did a video on it, several videos. That when the food chain reaction game, when the inflation stuff started, it was going to get up to around 400 some odd percent, almost 500% the inflation on food before it was all said and done. And they had it going into 2025, I think. That's who can afford it. That's why you got to eat insects, you all. I don't want to eat insects. I don't. I've tasted the insects, the dried insects. I guess they were dried with some seasoning, and they were kind of crunchy. I did a Facebook video on it. And all I could taste was the spice that was on it, and that was okay because, and I've swallowed a worm or two. I have in my whole entire life. I swallowed it as fast as I could. It was like a ceremony I did before I started planting my garden. I get me a, Gina, that is not nice. Well, I did. I wanted to see what it was like, because we had this track teacher said if a person won a certain event, he was going to swallow a night crawler, and he did. Rosie, honey, you got to go in the house because you're a little baby. You want to give me a hug first, Rosie? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You want to say hello, Rosie, honey? Say hello, because you're a little baby. You see Rosie, she's so happy that I'm holding her. Aren't you, Rosie, honey? I love Rosie. I really do love Rosie. She's my little baby. She's thinking I'm not your baby. Okay, Rosie. I'm going to let her go in the house. Go on, Rosie. You can do it. Go on. There, I got my hug from Rosie. That's right. You used to ride a motorcycle, and you know what June bugs do like that? You know what they taste like? Well, I used to ride a motorcycle too. I still can because I got my motorcycle license, but never had no June bugs flying in my face. I had some stuff flying on my face shield. Yeah, swallowed a fly. You all know. You know how many people are putting off doing this? You going to the grocery? Are you doing it? Because it really just thinking about doing it. You got to spend money you don't got, but you got to eat. Your children got to eat. And then if you have diapers, you got to buy for your babies and formula and stuff, and that that's even worse, a whole lot worse. They do have like these places that opened up where people could donate diapers, and the people who needed diapers, they could come in and they would get some diapers for free. So that would be a great thing to do. They do a great thing to be doing. Yeah, you don't want to. If you're putting off going to the grocery and you think I can't afford anything that I really want, now I got to cut back on my food. Well, you can make your food taste better. You can just make sure you got some salt. But Gina, honey, we ain't supposed to have salt. Well, why is our sweat salty? Why is it? Low sodium, no iodine and stuff. Well, if you sweat and you taste it like that, it tastes salty because your body's sweating out your sweat. And how that salt get in your body? Really think about it. How did it? I ran out of salt in Hawaii once, completely out, and I could not believe I did it. And I had to wait till the commissary opened up the next day. But when I went to the commissary, I got me some canisters of salt to make sure I never run out of salt again. You don't want to run out of salt. If the salt loses its saltiness, how can it be made salty again? That's right. Oh, I like to dance when I'm in the mood. I really do like to dance when I'm in the mood. Sometimes I don't get in the mood, you all. I don't, and it's okay. It is all right. It's quite all right. We can do it. You ate sugar ants in your everything bagel. Wow. You thought they were poppy seeds until they started moving. Oh, wow. Yes, that's okay. You can do it, you all. You can, how many people are putting off going to the grocery store because you do not want to spend that money? It just makes you kind of sick to your stomach and makes you upset that the food prices are getting higher. And well, imagine if you lived on an island, how much it is. If you're in Hawaii, if you're on an island, you're getting all your food more or less. Some of the main foods, it's coming over on a boat or an airplane. And I'm sure you're paying a whole lot more, or any other island that's out there. If you got to go get the food, you can't even afford it. You may be eating ramen, and you may be eating out of can. You may be eating some canned vegetables with kind of low things. But if you want to eat something healthy, you go get you a big bag of carrots. Great big bag of carrots. You don't even have to get the skin off of them. You can steam them. You can steam them and grill them. My daughter's been fixing them. They taste really delicious. And it's not too expensive, but it's a healthy food to eat. That you can do it with some onions. But Gina, honey, that some people don't even have that much money. I know. But if you want to eat healthy, you can do that. Okay, you can do it. I'll try to get you some vegetables. You can eat a baked potato. I guess the potatoes are probably too expensive too. Yeah. Now you shouldn't have to choose between the food and your bills and stuff like that, but you may have to stop eating out. There's people who eat out all the time, and you wonder why you don't got no money. It's because you're eating out all the time, and your money has truly sprouted wings, and it has flew away. Especially if you're in a habit of going to the fast food every day because you don't want to open up a can of soup. You don't want to open up a can of tuna and start eating the tuna out of the can or something. You've got to get creative. Go get you some macaroni so that you can do some macaroni and tomato sauce. It's very sustainable. It is, and it goes good together. That's what we grew up on. Macaroni and tomato sauce with some salt and pepper. Put some little bit of butter in it. You can dice up an onion and put it in there. It tastes really good, you all. You got to get creative. Every time I look in that window, I think I see Rosie. Hello there, Polly, honey. You're staying away from the cheap fast food. That's right, because it ain't cheap, Polly, honey. It's not cheap. It costs so much money. And you could get you probably enough food for maybe 2 days or 3 if you went to the grocery store and spent that money. It's okay if you want to go out once a week, but when you're going out 4 or 5 times a week, you may not realize how much money you're spending, and you could really put that money elsewhere to some food in your house. If you ain't got hardly any food in your house, you're walking up to the cabinet, what can I eat when you want to have a snack and you ain't got nothing in there? You don't. You want to have something. You can get the tuna in the Mylar bags too, the little foil bags you all. The food's only going to get more expensive. If in the food chain reaction game, that food goes up to around 500 and some odd percent. All the countries played it. They had a board, they had a Monopoly game. It was a food chain reaction game. They all gathered around. And while they had the food chain reaction game, they had all kinds of scenarios. They had riots, they had pandemics, they had conflicts, they had all kinds of stuff happening during it. And the countries had to see what were they going to do. How were they going to react with all this stuff going on in the process? They played out the scenarios, and I think they had a lot of fun. It was probably kind of stressful because they probably was forced to play. They were forced to play a game they probably really didn't want to play, if you want to know the truth. But they had to play it. That's how they got their analytics. That's what they went off of, a game. It played out, and it probably looked good to them. It probably did. You had crop failure, you had starvation, you had it all going on. Well, you know what's going on, so you better get yourself ready. Yeah, how many people you don't like doing this? You tried to avoid it. You tried to avoid to go into the grocery store. I know this one individual, they have not went to the grocery store for 3 weeks. They have put it off because they can't bring themselves to go. And really, it's hard to think of what you want to eat when you think about all the prices and stuff listen, you got to get yourself to that store. You got to get beyond it. Get to the store and get you some food. Get you something to eat before you starve to death. Okay, you can if you're walking, if you're close enough, or you can get in your car, you may make one trip. You'll have some nice food to eat. It's better than having nothing to eat. That's right. You like to have some, you have some hard candy is good in stressful times. It really is. Candy is a stress reliever. It does take the edge off the stress. I don't know how it does, but it is nice. You might have a craving if you could just have a piece of chocolate. And what are you going to do when you can't get the candy? You better have some sugar on hand. What would you do if you couldn't have some instant coffee or regular coffee? You could even get a pack of Kool-Aid. I mean, if you're addicted to soft drinks or something, Gina, that is not nice. Well, some people drink too much soft drinks. They do, and I don't know what the price of it is. But I guess you can flavor some water or something like that. I do, that's right. You're going to look for the farmers, local farmers. Frozen chocolate? Would that break your teeth? Polly, honey, are you going to go to the store? I think that's a wonderful idea if you go to the store. If you've been putting off going to the store, why don't you go to the store? Do it for yourself. Love yourself enough to go to the store. And if you got children and stuff, love your children enough to go to the store. If you can, go to the store. And you can get them some popcorn. You can get some popcorn and pop it. Gina, honey, you look like you're sweating. I'm sweating a little bit. I am. That's okay. I can sweat. Yeah, get you some popcorn in a bag, you all. And you can pretend like you're young again. And you can put some little oil or some butter in a pan and you can pop it on the stove. You can become an expert at it in case you have to pop it over an open fire or on some hot bricks. Get you some popcorn because you may not have a microwave, but that's nice to eat too. Just have some popcorn. You can eat it without anything on it. So that would be fairly cheap. It's better than potato chips, even though chips taste good. They're not good for you. They make you really fat. Make you put some fat, slap it right there. Got to stay away from it. You got to stay away from it. How many people avoid doing this, going to the grocery? Because of the rising prices. Well, we ain't seen nothing yet. They're just barely inching it up. Does anyone have the CPI? The CPI index, anybody know what it is right now? I used to keep track of all of that stuff years ago. I was big time watching all those types of markets. I couldn't wait. What is the CPI right now? I know it's much higher than what they're saying it is. I know we got people who watch that consumer price index. I know there's people on here who do. You just go ahead and say it. You got some, yeah. You got some mixed vegetables, taste really good. Oh, you can put some cheese on it. The cheese tastes like plastic. Amy, honey, you drink alkaline water only. You better get you some baking soda too, you all. Baking soda is nice to have. It can kind of make your water taste alkaline. If you can't get no alkaline water, you can have some baking soda to it. You all, I'm waiting for somebody to tell me what the CPI index is. If you watch the financial markets or any tab, I'm sure, I don't know how often they come out, maybe once a week. Yeah. Cheese, the cheese is kind of whatever too. Cheese is nice to have. And cheese is nice to sprinkle over popcorn, even if you got some shredded cheese, just sprinkle it over and just eat it. Or some powdered cheese. Then you have to open up a box of macaroni and cheese, you all, and sprinkle the powdered cheese on it. I guess nobody looks at this consumer price index. Gina, honey, that's not even the one you're supposed to be talking about. Well, the CPI has popped into my mind. I don't know if they include the price of food with that or if it's just goods, things like that. Grilled cheese sandwich with T, honey. Are you on here? T, honey, where you been? I haven't been seeing you, Gina, because you ain't been looking at the comment section. He's been here the whole time. Oh, sorry, T, honey. You kind of slipped my eye. That's right. Can somebody type in and see what the consumer price index is now? Because I don't want to leave the live stream to go look up see what the current CPI is for this past month or whatever it is. Yeah. Popcorn wasn't in the future yet. Now it is. Wow. Egg sandwich, you all. You can eat an egg sandwich. My mother used to have to do a fried egg sandwich when she worked, when she was really young. That's what she put in her lunch, a fried egg sandwich. Hello there, a Paradox. Yes, for June. I don't care. Just throw one out there. Throw me out a consumer price index. I haven't looked at that in years. I haven't. That's right. Hello. Yeah, hello, Deanna, honey. You are, we need to, how many of you are putting off going to the you-know-what place? How many are doing it? You don't want to go because you're looking at the prices and you're having sticker shock is what you're having. Oh, CPI 3 for 12 months, 0.2 for the last. Thank you, Sherry, honey. That's great. That is great. Make your own bread. You better buy you some flour. You might want to learn how to make Indian flatbread too. That would be good. You might have to eat some unleavened bread also. You could and figure out how people make those one types of breads. Cotton candy. Oh, the toothpicks. Oh, you're talking about Tom's toothpaste is no longer safe? I thought they had non-fluoride Tom's toothpaste. Even though the non-fluoride is not safe anymore? Yeah. Let's see. It was 3.05, Young Nut 48. 3.05, 305.109. Wow. Yes, you love the flatbread. Gina, honey, you need to practice what you preach because you ain't even making no flatbread either. Well, I'm gonna do it, you all. If I don't do it, my daughter's gonna do it. We're gonna get used to making some Indian flatbread. She used to do a lot of type of bread. I used to bake a lot of bread homemade when I was younger with my children, but then something happened and then my kids grew up and I no longer fix great big meals like I used to. I don't cook as much as I used to, but I know how to cook and I like to cook. I really do. It's a lot. Sometimes it's cheaper to eat out, you all, and it is. You know it is. It's cheaper to eat out than it is to go. You're living on air, no more food. Miki Shumanans. That's true. There was someone that I spoke to went 17 days without eating food. That's a long time. And I don't know what the longest on record it is for not how many days you can go without having food to eat. But when you'll notice when you stop eating, your face is going to get sunken in. You're going to lose weight. You may even become more, I don't know, psychic, more alert within your being or something like that. But then you're going to get really weak. You get really, really weak. We require much less than most realize. That's right. You're good at making a potluck. That's wonderful. You try to make your own bread. Hallelujah, we can do it, Amy, honey. We are doing it. We will do it or we ain't going to make it. We are not going to make it if we can't do it. That's how it is. It is. You all, how many people avoid going to the grocery store? How many people are avoiding going to you know what? And when you go and you can't buy the things you used to buy, what is it you're mainly buying? Are you stocking up some rice? Some of the rice might be plastic. I know the cheese puffs. I did an experiment once. The cheese puffs. It was years ago. I had some those popcorn, not popcorn. It's the packaging that was foam that looked like a cheese puff, but it was white or yellowish. You know what I did? I had a cheese puff that was the same size, but it was yellow. I opened up the bag of cheese puffs. First I took the packing thing that looked like the cheese puff, the white one or the yellow one, and I stuck it in my mouth, and I let it dissolve, and it dissolved really, really teeny, tiny, tiny. And I was noticing the texture of it and stuff. And then I spit it out. And then I stuck a cheese puff in my mouth and I let it dissolve. And I noticed the texture of it. I tasted the cheese. It had the same texture. I'm not joking. The same texture. Now, granted, the packaging puff, it wasn't crunchy like the cheese puff, I don't think. But it melted in my mouth like the cheese puff did. And I thought, well, all I have to do is sprinkle some cheese on that, whatever that plastic stuff was, and I could be eating cheese puffs and swallow it. That's right. Your woods are full of edibles. Yeah, you can get you some books on how to identify the edible weeds. They're very expensive, and I don't know if you can find them anymore. We got a lot of Peterson's Field guides, and they have colored pictures on how to do the mushrooms and things like that. The hen of the woods, the chicken of the woods is my favorite. It looks really nice. It would grow on a tree, and it's white, and it's got a ribbony, like a red, orangish ribboning thing around. And the puffball mushrooms, they taste really good if you get them before they get too spory-like. And the mushrooms that grow on the wood itself, button mushrooms or something like that. Yeah, and the field mushrooms. But you can do a spore test if you can take some of the mushrooms that have the gills on them. You get you some colored paper or something like that, white paper. Put them upside down on there, and see if the spores get on the paper. I forget the results, what the results mean, if you see the spores on it or not, because it's been a long time since I'd done that. But I was all into that kind of stuff, you all. So how many people avoid doing this? Going to the grocery store. That's the thing. We eat too much food, you all. They fatten themselves up for the day of slaughter. That's what it says in the Bible. But you know what? We've been pushed to eat and eat and eat. Eat all you want. That's right. Eat all you want buffets. Why they want to tell you to eat all you want? They don't want you to be able to move around. They don't. They want you to consume, consume, consume. That doesn't look very nice. This is my sweat, you all. Yeah, eat all you want food. Eat all you want buffet. Keep eating and eating. It's free. You all, we got to wake up. They want you to eat. The worst cartoon I've ever seen, and I don't like it, it was the Wall-E. The Wall-E cartoon where the people went up in space because the Earth was uninhabited, and this little robot came down. It was on the planet with all the metal and all this kind of stuff. Somehow, I guess he got up there, and the people up there in space, they had gained so much weight, they didn't do nothing. They sat on these vehicles that flew around. They brought them the food. They had milkshakes and stuff. And when they saw this green leaf or something, they got on the ship. The captain, everybody was overweight. And they waddled out of the spaceship, and they took that plant and they planted it on the dirt, and they got back to life as normal. I didn't like that at all. At all. I didn't like that cartoon, and I still don't like it. I don't think it's funny one bit. I don't. But eat all you want. You all, how many people are putting off doing that, going to the grocery because you don't like to see the prices? Well, according to the Food Chain Reaction Game, type it in, if you can even find it anymore. It's probably been scrubbed from the internet. One of our presidents held it. He did. And the food prices will get up to around 500%. I think they're going up into the year 2025, and they had all kinds of cataclysms, world events happening at the same time. And the leaders of these earth who participated in these games, there probably was forced. They had to choose how they was going to react, and then they had a famine, they had food shortages, they had all kinds of stuff. And sometimes it would let up. They'd have riots, they'd have wars, they'd have um, pandemics. They had all kinds. They didn't mention alien invasion, though. They didn't. But, yeah. And then it subsided, is what happened. So yeah, we might get stuck eating out. Fingernails. Oh, that's kind of gross. You love the fried or boiled cabbage and okra. I like okra. I like to eat it fresh off the vine. I haven't even been able to go down in my garden, Gina, because you didn't make time to go down in your garden and cut off those things of okra before they got too big. If you try to eat okra when it gets too big, you're going to bite into it and it's going to be fibrous, and you just might as well throw it away. If you're going to eat the okra, you got to eat it when it's a little bit small. That when you bite into it, it just crisp and it just bites. You just break it right off and you just chew it up. It's delicious. And then if you got a lot of okra plants, then you just like dice them up and bake them in the oven with some seasoning. They're a nice little snack. They like hot weather. They do. So I am going to go, you all, because food prices, they're going to continue to rise. They are. And I know it's hard to make it when you don't have very much money. You're living on limited income. But when that universal basic income starts rolling out, I wonder if it'll be more than what you're making now. I really do. Because they said they're going to have to do something when the people don't got no jobs. You're going to have a universal basic income, said Mr. Musk. We did a video on that too. They were asking him about it, and he said, well, you might have to. And then he was stumbling on his words. Well, we're going to have we will have a universal basic income for the people because, they got to survive. They might have to survive. Well, they're going to have to survive, or you're going to not survive. So I am going to go, you all. And I'm not sure what time it is. It's 32 minutes that I've been on here. I know I was supposed to do story time with Gina at 8:30. I should just read something. I really should. But I don't know. I'll figure that out when I get upstairs. That's right. Oh my gosh. Oh, the creativity. You're so very welcome, Trust God Only. You'll take the so much free enterprise and open market. Well, it is open and it is free, kind of, sort of. Yeah. Oh my gosh. Stuffed bell peppers with some meat in it and some rice. My mother used to make it. It was really delicious. She cooked meals all the time. We rarely ever went out to eat. And when we did go out to eat, we all get in the car, they get something, bring it home, and then we ate. And then if we did go to a restaurant, it had to be a buffet, but that was rare too. Oh, that's welcome. Yeah, we're going to do it. I didn't hear about the little blue alien they found. I haven't been hearing about hardly anything. Yeah. Poke salad, that's right, poke. I have poke that will grow in my garden, and if y'all don't know what a poke is, it's a big green leafy vegetable. You got to get it before it gets too mature. You do, and you can take those leaves and you can just fry them up. They taste really good, but they're a weed. Yeah, that is good. It does taste good. Poke salad. Just don't eat the plate. Load it yes, that's right, you all. Now my battery's dying, so I am going to go. So with that being said, hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello, from my heart to yours, love you. Have a wonderful rest of your evening, you all. I don't know what time it is. I'm going to go upstairs and see, because if it's near 8:30, nearing it, I'm going to have to come back on here again, because I said I'll be on here every day at 8:30, and I try my best to it. It's Eastern Standard Time. It's Indiana time. So it's probably around 8 right now. It's probably what it is. It could be a little bit after 8, maybe, but it's around that time. Say the dinky doodle before you go. Dinky doodle. In the chat, boys. Dinky Doodle in the chat, boys. I've never heard of Dinky Doodle in the chat, boys. I haven't. What is Dinky Doodle? I don't know what it is. Reminds me of Yankee Doodle. Keep it up, Yankee Doodle dandy. Mind the ladies with this, and with the steps be handy. Yeah, that's right, you all. We can do it. We're gonna go. Did I say my whatevers? Hello, wherever you are in any part of the world. Hello. From my heart to yours. Love you. Have a wonderful evening, you all. It's 7 p.m. Oh, it's around 8 o'clock. I still got time to figure out what I'm going to do at 8:30. And it don't have to be nothing big. It don't. Have a wonderful evening, you all. Thank you.